Well, the food is gone, family headed home, and now it's time to shop. Some people pitched their tents in front of local stores days ago in preparation. Yeah, the Wolf River crested at a level that we haven't seen in more than 95 years. You're taking a live look at it right now. I don't know where I'm going with that. Outside. Would a $25,000 signing bonus make going to work on Monday morning a little easier? Neighbors in Harrison tell us they never knew the couple was having domestic abuse problems, but experts say that conversation isn't often brought up. A Green Bay alderman facing backlash today. A code of conduct complaint accuses Guy Zima of years of sexual harassment.
You've been outside. You came into work this morning.
That is true.
And
looks nice.
Well, you guys, thank you. Very complimentary Friday going on.
I meant the
here.
weather, not you. No. We tried reaching out to Fantasia Trust today to get her side of the story, but when we got to the house, all we saw was this. And this nearly 250-page report explains why those officers received those punishments. Yeah, Stacy, the hazmat team is still working to determine exactly what that substance inside the building is. Yeah, Brooke, there were dozens of firefighters from several different fire departments at the Kohler Company plant behind me. We were up there earlier. They've since asked us to leave the property, keeping us away from that pretty active scene. Yeah, John and Cassandra, what you see behind me here on Broad Street is Sunrise Oriental Market. You can see firefighters are still fighting this fire. They've been out here for over an hour and a half tonight. John, the decision is outlined in these court documents. The judge says there wasn't enough new evidence for Avery to get a new trial. Those two people, a man and a woman, were found dead in this area of Harrison last night. Now, just to give you some perspective, we're standing at Darboy Community Park. According to the criminal complaint, both Tila and Coronado lived here on the 600 block of Olson Avenue where the shooting happened. It's been pretty quiet here at the Boulder Lake Campground. Nothing but bugs and locked gates. The state assembly was the final hurdle for Foxconn. The $3 billion incentive bill now heads to Governor Walker's desk for approval. You can't see much behind me, but I'm standing right in the middle of Lake Winnebago here in Oshkosh. Yeah, John, it is still slippery out here tonight, and that 24-hour tow ban means help isn't coming in Green Bay if you're stuck on the side of the highway or in a ditch. The cleanup is still going to take quite some time here in northeast Wisconsin. In fact, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get my car out of the parking lot. It's been stuck here since last night. Yeah, Jen and Cassandra, it's a 13-week process, but for some it feels a lot longer. Each test a battle against themselves to show that they have what it takes to earn the title of U.S. Marine.
Face the sun.
It's the middle of the night in San Diego.
Are you sit up straight and look at me now?
This bus, full of new recruits, is making its first and only stop, boot camp.
Yes, sir!
I gave up a nice job I had back home. I was going to school. I had my family. I was living at home. I had a car. What am I doing in boot camp?
It's a question a lot of Marines, including Noah Huntley from Green Bay, ask themselves when they give up their lives for the Marines.
Talk to anyone. This means you will do what I tell you to do, how fast I tell you to do it, when I tell you to do it. Do you understand that? Yes, sir!
But for almost everybody standing on these iconic yellow footsteps, becoming a Marine is their dream.
It means that I'm not anything anymore. It means that this uniform is a representation of every Marine who's gone and fought at Iwo Jima or Okinawa or that are in Afghanistan, Iraq right now, or wherever they are. It's not about me anymore. It's about the Corps. It's about our country. It's about protecting and defending those who are back here.
For the next 13 weeks, these men shave their heads, go through obstacle courses, visit Camp Pendleton, and learn how to fight. Marching becomes an everyday routine, and getting ready each morning becomes only a 15-minute process. It all comes down to the Crucible. Marching 45 miles through the California mountains in just 54 hours, never knowing what comes next, but focusing on the end result.
But after you finish the Reaper hike and the Crucible, and the drill instructors look at you, and one of my drill instructors sat down with me at breakfast and said, "Good morning, Marine, how are you doing?" That really just made it all worth it. It made me feel like I've actually accomplished something in my life.
It's your responsibility to uphold the honor and legacy of those Marines who've gone before you.
And it's a feeling that runs deep. Not everybody earns the title of Marine, but the few that do are proud of their accomplishments.
To see that he's stepping into a line of men who have defended the country just brings tears to my eyes. I'm just so proud of him.
These Marines say they don't do it for the recognition. They do it because it's their calling and their duty to protect the United States.
Because I thought about all of the other Marines that have been standing in that very place and all the great things that they had done, I thought, my God, my son is doing this as well. I couldn't be more proud.
And it all comes together in graduation.
There's nothing you can prepare for. I couldn't prepare for boot camp because it's just something else. I couldn't prepare for the Crucible because it's something else. I couldn't prepare for the Reaper because it's something else. I can't prepare for it.
Now, tomorrow night, we'll take you to that graduation and follow another Marine family from Northeast Wisconsin, reunited for the first time with their son in months. You won't want to miss that part right here on NBC 26 at 10. John and Cassandra. Yeah, John, we've really been looking into this for a while, a couple of weeks, maybe even close to a month, and we found that there's about 800 volunteer fire departments across Wisconsin, each of them ready to take the next call for help. That is, if they can keep their doors open, which is becoming more of a challenge for many. It's a weekday afternoon, and the town of Two Rivers Fire Department is quiet.
The future is an empty building. An empty building that used to be a fire department, and there's nothing left.
Only 20 firefighters protect the town of 11,000, each a volunteer trusted to drop everything when seconds feel like hours.
If we vanish and we're not here tomorrow, and they've got to come from a neighboring department 10 miles away, that 8 minutes might be 15 or 20.
The department is stretched thin, down nearly a dozen members. Not as many people signing up means fewer firefighters to go on calls, and recruiting more members is almost as hard as fighting the flames themselves.
We need more people that are willing to do that. We just need them.
But so does everyone else. The National Volunteer Fire Council says close to 100,000 fewer people volunteer for the fire service nationwide now than in 1983 when the record started. Why?
Once they start finding out the commitment time, they seem to lose some interest.
The town of Sheboygan is down to 34 firefighters. Urgency is setting in as more people decide the service isn't for them.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'll say, we're probably at about a 7 to 8 right now.
Recruits have to train for 60 hours before they can fight a fire. That's in addition to state training and taking classes at the academy. There is some money for driving to a call in some departments, but for most, it isn't worth the risk.
If they really want to do it, you're gonna know right away just by the look on their face, and you're gonna be able to talk to them a little more.
And for these two towns, hiring full-time firefighters simply isn't an option.
Do the math on those salaries and see how you're going to bust the town's budget terribly. Are they going to find an extra $400,000 for salaries? It's not there.
Both departments hope more people volunteer to answer the call before the doors close one last time.
If you call and nobody comes, what are we going to do?
Now, both departments say if the situation gets worse, they'll have to go to their town councils and ask for help. And if that doesn't work, they'll have to look into some consolidation of departments. It's pool night at Sandpiper Bar in Two Rivers. But two flu-related deaths in town have these guys talking.
I mean, I'm kind of older. I'm 68 now, and they always say it's harder on the older people and the very young, so it might fit into the older category.
The two deaths happened Sunday. The Manitowoc County coroner says a 56-year-old man and a 48-year-old woman tested positive for the flu. The virus has forced hospitals to put restrictions on visitors and close schools in some areas.
We have seen more influenza hospitalizations this year than we had in the last flu season, and that is also true statewide too.
The Manitowoc County coroner says the man came here to the hospital for his symptoms and says you should do the same if you think you have the flu. The guys at Sandpiper Bar are asking for the same.
When they seem sick, we say, what are you doing here? You know, we try to encourage them to at least cover up when they cough or something, or else actually to leave.
And the health department says getting the flu shot is still the best line of defense against the virus.
It does provide some extra protection if you are exposed to the flu and you do happen to come down with the flu, because that does happen. It actually will lessen the severity of the flu.
The coroner's office plans to release the names after family members are notified. Reporting in Two Rivers, Shane Gustafson, NBC 26.
A little sad that somebody would steal anything, much less Jesus, from a church.
It's a sure sign of Christmas, missing a major piece Wednesday night.
When someone takes that vital piece and even starts messing with it, it's just unfortunate because it's only meant for people to enjoy.
The statue of baby Jesus is an icon in Menasha, sitting in front of St. Patrick's Church every year for the last 2 decades. Police say it was stolen Monday night and several other items moved around.
It's disappointing that someone has so little time on their hands that they want to do something like that.
Especially since it sits next to a busy road. The church says it isn't stepping up security after the incident, but hopes somebody helps them out.
To look for where we can get another one at very short notice, which is always complicated. As you can see, we're bustling and busy. This is not the time of year to have to replace it.
But some hope it's still bringing joy wherever it is.
If you need to steal from a church, then you probably need it worse than we do.
Now the church says it will have some type of Jesus statue in the manger no matter what this Christmas morning. Now they also say if you have any information about this incident, you're asked to call Menasha Police or return the statue to the church if you or somebody you know has it. They also say there could be some type of reward for doing so. We're keeping you connected tonight live in Menasha. Shane Gustafson, NBC 26.